What's up, everybody? My name is Juwan Rohan, and this is the Misguided Podcast, where we intend to guide you to a better future. I'm sitting here with Conley. He is the owner of Black Mental Care. What's up, bro?
What's going on, Eric? What's going on? What's going on, bro? Thank you for having me. Definitely appreciate this opportunity, man. Thank you so much.
Yes, of course, man. Shit, what time is it out there? Right? I didn't even think about the time difference.
Right now
It's
it's
11:30, right?
11:38. Yeah,
Oh,
11:38.
oh, yeah. So you've been up for a while, huh?
Yeah, man. I'm a kind of an early riser now. My internal clock wakes me up like 8 o'clock every morning for some reason, man. Even when I try to sleep in, I always wake
Yeah.
up at 8. So and I sometimes just lay there watching Netflix, The Office, or something like that if
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
working.
yeah. No, I feel it. I feel it. I feel that. That shit. Do you work? You work like regular Monday through Friday, so you got weekends off.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah, I
go.
work Monday through Friday, and then like if they have me like need me to come in and do anything on the weekends, and I like obviously working remotely, but like if I need to do anything on the weekends, I just pop in and do some,
For sure.
but not like a long shift or anything like that.
For sure. For sure. Well, shit. Thank you for coming up here, man. So yeah, today we're gonna talk about Black mental health for Black men, and just kind of give a little education, history on it, and then go into exactly what you're doing and how you're helping other Black men. So I'm super excited. Let's go ahead and start. Shit. What is Black mental health? What is mental health?
I mean, like with Black Mental Care, what I'm doing now is kind of like I try to talk to Black men and just be like, all right, like just because we're talking about mental health doesn't necessarily mean you have like depression or schizophrenia or whatever those cases may be. I think
Yeah.
that's like the big stigma, like whenever you're trying to deal with your mental health, that you have something necessarily wrong.
Ah,
Mental health is a combination of a bunch of different things. Like you can just be mentally fatigued from your 9 to 5 work day or what you got going on at home and things of that nature, and you just need to talk about it. You know what I mean, to ease that stress and frustration that you're going through. You know what I mean. So um that's kind of what I categorize like mental health. I try to make sure that whenever I'm talking to somebody like, yo, you need to take care of your mental health, I make sure I really stress. Like I don't mean like something's necessarily wrong with you. It just means that, in your 9 to 5 life, or in your regular lifestyle overall, like you're just dealing with a lot and it's mentally draining. You know what I mean?
it
Sometimes you're
is.
feeling like tired and you just don't want to do nothing. That's your mental health and you're mentally drained. So just the importance of really taking care of that, especially us in the Black community, it's super important to do that because we go through so much overall, not only in our own household, but just in the world overall. We go through so much. So just having that time to just really lock in and pay attention to our mental overall is super important. Man.
No, that's facts. Great. You said it. You said it great, bro. It's true. We do go through a lot, and this year we've definitely been going through a lot. So it's important to really, care for your mental health because it's just like you're taking care of your hygiene. It's just like you're grooming. It's,
Exactly.
you know what I mean? Like these things
Mhm.
need to be more normalized, and
Exactly.
it's kind of just keeping up with yourself. So I think it's important that we talk about it and kind of educate the people, because there's young people listening to this. There's older people who still have that mindset of, nah, I'm cool, stop acting soft. You feel me? Like there's so many
Exactly.
stigmas around Black mental health. Like Black people don't get don't have mental health problems. Like that's just false, and we kind of need to set the record straight, pretty much. Ooh, that might be the title of this: set the record straight.
Set the record. That's a fact. That's a good one. I like that one. No lie,
Set
that's a good one. Yeah.
yeah. Let me write that down. Nah, but really though, I was doing some research, and I was looking at stats and stuff, but I was reading that Black people are 20% more likely to have mental health problems, psychological distress, anxiety, stuff like that. It doesn't necessarily have to be, like you said, schizophrenia or the huge problems, but 20% more than white people, but way less likely to use, the resources that were given. And so that struck me because that's a big percentage. And it's all based around these stigmas, like we said, growing up. What stigmas like really affected you as a kid? Like why what made you wait until later on to start, thinking about your mental care?
I mean, I kind of just want to touch on the point that you said, like, with the numbers that you pulled up. Like, so me growing up in the Bronx, it was
Yep.
like we like my family kind of raised me to be like, yo, like you know what I mean, just grind. Like I watched my mom and my pops, like they kind of just, we had struggles at home or whatever, but they never like talked about it, whether they talked about it to themselves or to me. Like I never heard them talk about it. You know what I mean? They never talked about therapy or anything like that. So like, I feel like just all of us, we're just like built like, all right, we got this problem. What's the quickest way for us to get out this problem? Like without having to talk about it or whatever. And even just in the communities overall, like we don't, like me growing up in the Bronx, I didn't see any resources for like anybody with real mental health issues, because it's just like, all right, like, why are you going to go to a therapist? Or, you know what I mean? Just talk to me. You know what I mean? But you telling me to talk to you, but you haven't made it like, how can I say this? We have never talked about this stuff at all. You know what I mean? And you're telling me to talk to you about like my mental, but we've never talked about this. So how do I start this conversation? How do I initiate that something's wrong? Because I don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? So I just kind of want to touch on that. But like, I just want you to repeat that question one more time because I got off topic.
No, that was actually perfect though. I like what you said. But my question was pretty much like, when did it like click for you? Like that I need to, you know, go get some help. Like, was that at a young age? Like what stigmas were, you know, around you at a young age to where it was like, you didn't need it? You know what I mean?
I mean, so it wasn't even at like a young age, like, you know, like I said, like growing up in the Bronx, like we had our struggles and stuff like that. But like, I really never I never thought about it because it's something that was just never talked about.
It's kind of brushed under the rug. It's like brushed under
exactly.
the rug. Yeah.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, so like I would talk to my moms about like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, like I'm struggling in school, but it's never like, yo, like I don't feel like something's wrong mentally. It started happening more like in my older years. So when I was like 25 or 24, my mom's passed away from cancer. So like that, it was kind of when everything kind of like took the downturn for mental health and for my mental health. And I had to like kind of figure it out. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of when I started like having to focus more on like my mental health overall.
Yeah. I'm sorry to hear, man. She was like the rock to you. So like once that fell apart, it was like you really had to deal with your problems instead of just keep sweeping it. You feel me?
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like she was my like I said, like I never went to her like, hey, I'm having mental health problems. But if I had like girl problems or like, you know what I mean? Like I played sports. So if I had sports problems, I'm like going to my mom's, you feel me? So it's like, when she passed away, I was like, yo, like what do I do now? You know what I mean? Like I got my sister and my aunts and uncles, but it's nothing like, you know what I mean, having like your moms, you know what I mean, having that conversation with you know what I mean? So that was kind of my like, it took a lot of years for me to kind of get to where I'm at now. And I'm still kind of trying to climb myself out that hole. Yeah. But you know what I mean? That's what kind of started all of this. You know what I mean? She's the reason for all of this.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Hey, what's her name?
Her name is Wanda. Yeah, Wanda Carter.
Thank you, Wanda Carter. Thank you, Wanda.
Carter.
Oh, Carter. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, so like sometimes it takes that wake up call, you know, especially for Black men, because like you said, it's just that we don't really know how to approach the situation until we're put in that situation, to where we need to get out and climb out. It's like, sometimes you just got to be thrown into that situation. It's like the videos you be seeing of the white women throwing their little babies into the pool to make them force them to swim. It's kind of it's like that. It's like that. You gotta be thrown into the real world to really kind of dig yourself out. I did want to ask the question: is it ever too early for therapy?
Nah, never. I mean, you can go to, you know, first off, like going to therapy, is nothing wrong with going to therapy. There's nothing wrong with going to therapist. I think it's just you have to find the right one. I tried to go to therapy at one time. It didn't work for me necessarily. That don't mean it's not going to work for somebody else. You just have to find the right therapist. You know what I mean? And that might take some time, you know what I mean? And no matter how old you are, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter what the situation is. You just have to just find the right therapist. And once you find the right therapist, you know, from my friends and family that go to therapy, they love their therapist after they found the right one. You know what I mean? So you're going to have to do your research. And, you know, you're going to want to have to find somebody that's relatable to you. You know what I mean? Whether a person be Black or white or whatever the case may be, you're going to have to find somebody that's relatable to you. But once you find that therapist, you know, everything is smooth sailing from there.
Facts. I would say, so let's talk about that. How to find the right therapist. So like you said, someone that's relatable to you, someone that, you know, their treatment approach kind of has to deal with where you are in society. So what I mean is by they have to be able to connect with you on that level of understanding your situation. So, okay, my therapist has to understand I'm a young Black man who has dealt with being pulled over by the cops and being scared for my life. Not only that, but they have to understand kind of how I felt in that moment, how I have to raise a young Black son, how that's fucking a huge weight on my shoulders. You know what I mean? Yeah. So they have to understand those type of things and you know what social categorizations that you're in. I think that's extremely important when finding a therapist. And kind of just knowing your cultural background. They don't necessarily have to be Black. A lot of people find it more comforting when it is Black, but I mean, I've known white people who've helped me through it because they understand, you know what I mean? Because they've coached and mentored young Black kids, even though they're white. They grew up in the same same
environment.
Exactly. So I don't want to just throw that out there and say you only got to go find a Black person because that's just
but that's the thing though, that's the stigma though, like, you know, that like, all right, I'm Black, I have to find a Black therapist.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, or I'm white, I have to go to a white therapist. That's the stigma out there. Like, or I'm a female, I have to go to a female therapist. Like, that's not necessarily the case. Like, you know, it's, I think we put something in our mind where it's like, all right, like they're only going to understand me if they're the same as me, if they're Black or anything like that. That's not true. You know what I mean? And literally, like when we like, I mean, from my perspective, I had a white therapist and she was great. You know what I mean? But I always had in my mind, like, yo, she's talking to me, but she don't understand. I don't think she really understands. And right then and there with me saying that she don't understand, I immediately was already closing myself off to the process. You know what I mean? I wasn't necessarily healing as I should have been healing. Like, who's to say, like, if I would have continued to go to her, you know, where I'll be at today, if I would have had the same type of closure and the same type of growth that I would have today, I don't know that. But immediately when I started thinking like, yo, this lady's white, she don't understand me, I immediately started closing myself off to the healing process. And I think that's what we all do, because once we see that this person isn't of our race or of our color, we immediately stop the whole healing process and we're putting up another wall to them. And this is just making things worse. You know what I mean? So actually trying to give, you know, somebody of a different race, there's nothing wrong with it. You know, you just give them a try. You know what I mean? And if you realize that they don't work, you just move on to the next one. But don't close off, you know, speaking to somebody of a different race, you know, altogether. You know what I mean? Still give it a try. You know what I mean? You never know what will come of it.
True, man. Well said for sure. And to kind of piggyback off that, it's good. Sometimes it could be good to have, you know, the other race or the other gender kind of help you, because that could give you a different perspective. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Sometimes that's needed. Everyone's problems are different. Someone might need a Black woman if they are a Black woman seeking for help. You know what I mean? But each person's problems are different. So each person like needs different help. You feel me? So
yeah, exactly.
Just that the idea of mental health is being open and being honest with yourself. So I say in order to find the right person, the right provider, you just got to be open and honest with yourself. And I think that's kind of pretty much what this whole episode is just about opening up. You feel me?
Exactly. That's a fact. I agree 100%.
Yep. Well, shit. I did want to shout out, like, not shout out, but kind of like right now, everyone's doing that online therapy, right? Or over the phone therapy and stuff like that with their doctors. But I did want to shout out talk therapy. I've heard, or talk space, I want to say. I've heard great things about them. No, I'm not sponsored by them, but if they want to sponsor, I hope you're listening. Drop some dollars. Yeah, facts. But no, talk space. I think I heard great things about them. It's just pretty much online. You don't ever have to go in and see the therapist, which I think sometimes works better for people. Because they don't feel the pressure of sitting on that couch that is so scary and movies, you feel me? They could do it from the comfort of their bed, the comfort of them, wherever their Zen spot is. And And so I think that's cool. You know, try and use that. Try and use
Yeah.
talking on the phone or Zooming if you're not quite comfortable going into your doctor and letting them know what's wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. No,
Just
yeah, I mean,
different resources.
exactly. I mean, the resources are out there. We just have to be, again, we have to kind of be on the look for them, like you said, Talkspace, or like, even like if you want a therapist or anything like that, like using your insurance, whatever insurance you have, you can definitely reach out to your insurance and they'll be able to walk you through the process of finding a therapist. But then even speaking to your friends and family, like we never know what people know unless we speak to them. You know what I mean? Like when I was looking for a therapist, I could have, I should have asked like, my sister, my uncles, my aunts, my cousin. I could have asked anybody, but I went out kind of on my own and was like, yo, let me just go find somebody. I didn't want to tell nobody like what I was going through. I was just like, yo, let me thug it out. And again, it necessarily didn't work for me. But I do wish back then that I was open more to the process and that I spoke more with my friends and family, because we don't all speak about what's going on with us mentally as a whole. They could have been doing some type of therapy and I not know about it. And they could be like, listen, like I'm going through the same thing. Let me refer you to this person. You know what I mean? So just speaking up and being vocal about what you're going through and what you're feeling, that most of the time that gets you the help that you need.
Yeah, that's facts. We're going to talk about resources actually and get into kind of how you're helping the community, our community. But I did want to touch up on the fact that the family talking, it's super like, especially in our culture, we're not open with our family enough. And a lot of people don't know what's going on. Like you said, you were like, nah, I'm gonna just go do this by myself. And ultimately it didn't work. But maybe if you had talked to your sister, I believe you have a sister.
Yeah, sister. Yeah,
if you had talked to your sister, and she's older, so she probably knows a little bit more of kind of which direction you could have headed in. You could have got there a little faster. You could have got there in a different way. Just I think it's important to talk to your family because we've been seeing a lot of stories where a lot of families are losing their Black men and they never even knew they had mental health problems. Like I think there was like a few stories this year, more than a few, but a few that were like national, that were like about how the family never knew this kid, the person had mental health problems, but the person either ended up dead by suicide or suicide. We don't know because so much shit has happened this year. But
that's true.
Yeah. Or disappeared. The one that sticks in my mind most recently is the young 20-year-old that died in Fullerton, California, I want to say. And the police said it was by hanging. And his family,
there's been a lot of hanging.
And his family was like, he's never had mental health problems or anything like that of that nature. It was around the Black Lives Matter protests and all that, so it was obviously skeptical about the hangings. But yeah, that's the one that sticks in my mind. Is just because the first thing they were like, he's never had mental health problems, he wouldn't do this. But then on the contrary, it's like, has he ever talked to you about it?
Exactly.
So I think that's super important to kind of just get to the point. But yeah, let's go ahead and dive into exactly how you're helping the community and what Black mental care is all about.
Yeah. So I created back in October, and we're still fresh, still growing, a support space for Black men. Okay. It's called Black Mental Care. So obviously Instagram and YouTube, they don't allow me to put the capitals in there, but it's Black Mental Care, MENTAL, capital MEN. And I just wanted to create a space because I know with me back when I was dealing with my depression after the loss of my mom, like I didn't want to talk to nobody, like friends, family, or anything like that. And like it kind of put me in like this downward spiral. And I really thought like I was the only person kind of going through what I was going through. And knowing, I'm just finding this out now, from talking to my sister. I would never known this, but my dad's side of the family, they suffer from like mental health issues as well, but like they never addressed it or anything like that. So I just like, I was going in this downward spiral, thinking I was the only person dealing with these, mental health issues. Didn't want to talk to nobody, and a couple times like I contemplated suicide and things of that nature. But because I didn't want to speak out about what I was feeling, and because I felt like I didn't have a safe space, I just was just in my room every night, crying and stuff like that. So After I tried therapy and it didn't work, I was like, all right, like I just want to just be in like a room with a group of guys, kind of like if you think of like AA or like, Alcohol Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous. I just want to be in a room with a bunch of Black guys, and we just talk about our issues. You know what I mean? Talk about the things we go through. Because not only like was I dealing with like depression, but then I'm dealing with like stuff at work, and I'm dealing with like, going back home to the Bronx, and like, me getting like, racially profiled like by police, or like, me walking down the street in the Bronx and worrying about if the dude on the corner is trying to get me or something like that. Like just worrying about so much of these things. And that's all problems that all of us as Black men, go through. So it was always something in my mind, like, yo, I just want a space like that where we could just all just talk about our problems and not be judged, and not like, worry about somebody making fun of us or laughing at us or anything like that. And at that time, I couldn't find that space, whether I wasn't looking hard enough or like whether it wasn't there, I couldn't find it. So, in like August, September, I started like talking to like my uncle about like, yo, I want to create this space. And also my buddy that you also did an interview with, my buddy Sam, that's one of my closest friends. Black Real Estate Dialogue, that's one of my closest friends. I was telling him like, bro, I want to do this. And like, one thing about like when you have depression too, like your confidence is like shot. You don't really have the confidence in yourself. So I'm like, yo, bro, I want to do this. And he's like, yo, just go do it. And one of the realest things he said to me was like, yo, bro, don't be a thinker, just be a doer, bro. Go out and just do it. And it's a great idea. Go out and do it. So I just made a Zoom account. I made an Eventbrite, and the name just came to me one day. I was working, name came to me like, yo, Black Mental Care. So I just made a Zoom account, made an Eventbrite, sent it out to like all my friends, like all my guys. And every Saturday we meet, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we just literally get on and we talk about like, what we're dealing with on a day-to-day basis, or what we've dealt with overall that we can't even tell other people. You know what I mean? So the first Saturday that we talked, like, I actually cried, like talking about like, the loss of my mom and all the things I had to go through. But these was things I never talked to like my sister about. I never talked to like my family about, but I felt comfortable because I'm in a room with, they were like, obviously, things like this start off with your friends, obviously.
Yeah,
but, these are my friends, but they're in this Zoom with me, like, yo, like we never even heard you talk about this. You know what I mean? And I realized that when you don't talk about what you're going through, it's just gonna cause like a whole bunch of other stuff that you don't even want to even happen. You know what I mean? You're just gonna spiral out of control. So, we've been going strong since October, and since then I've been trying to just mix it up for the guys that have been joining. I think we have like 10 to 15 guys that kind of join really frequently. But I try to mix it up. Like we had a meditation session.
I saw the yoga one, like the last one.
Yeah, we did yoga yesterday. I'm actually gonna post that video on YouTube. We did yoga
crazy.
Yesterday.
That's dope.
Yeah, we're gonna actually do like a book reading, so everybody's gonna not like a book club or nothing like that, but everybody kind of pick like their own book, and bring back on a Saturday just like what they gathered from the book, like if they agree on it, if they not agree on it. But mostly everything that we do is centered around Black men and our mental health, and then also like with the yoga, trying to build not only our mental health but our physical health and our spiritual health as well. You know what I mean? Because those all three align into one. So
bro, I love
that's what I've been doing.
I love this,
I appreciate
man.
it.
No, for real, like that's it, man. I love it, man. I might join you a couple Saturdays, man. It sounds fun.
Hey, cool.
I love the way you're switching it up too, so it's not just every time. It's not a circle meeting, but it's like I love it. The book reading thing is so great because I think it's important for us to read and for us to get different perspectives and learn. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I'm happy. This is probably my favorite podcast right here. It's my favorite episode.
Yeah, I appreciate that, bro. I mean, yo, I put the even on the YouTube platform, bro, and on Instagram, man, I put the Eventbrite up there. With the day-to-day life, it's kind of hard for me to put the Eventbrite up early in the week. I'm trying to get better at that so it can give people more time to sign up. But like I say on my YouTubes and like whenever I talk to the guys on Saturday, I'm just trying to help one person. You know what I mean? And I hope that one person can be you, whoever that one person may be. You know what I mean? And it's been we're actually putting up a video this week. It's just like a testimony video, and I was working on trying to record my testimony about it. And I was like, man, like I've been trying to help one person, and it seems like through this process, and I can only speak on myself, but through this whole process that has been to create Black mental care and to where we're at now, I'm that one person that's being helped.
That's
I feel
fire.
good that, yeah, it is. It's actually an amazing thing, bro. Like I feel just good because I'm like, yo, like I'm able to get stuff off my chest, but I see that, my friends that I grew up with, you know what I mean? Like they're telling me stuff that not me, but they're saying stuff and it's all confidential, bro. Like they're saying stuff that I've never heard them say before. And it's like, like it's just dope. Like, because I have kind of people that, I have people that I grew up with, but then I have people that I've met like over time and they're joining and they're just speaking. And it's just like, it's a brotherhood. Like it's kind of like kind of creating our own community here. And it's like, we want to make sure that when we have sons, if we do have sons, that they're able to talk to us. They're able to, we're not getting drawn into the same cycle that we got drew into. Cause I never talked to my pops about like whatever I had going on. I never talked to him about it. I talked to my mom about certain stuff, but like, my dad is still here now. And when I was going through my issues with depression, I ain't talked to him about it. But when I have a son, like I want to be comfortable in that space, and all the other guys as well that join us on Saturdays, they want to make sure that they're comfortable in that space. So when they have a son and that son gets of age and something's going on with them, mentally or, anything that's going on in the real world, they can really be able to sit there and have that conversation with them. And, and they understand like, yo, like you can come to me with anything, whatever the issue is, you can come to me with anything. And our Saturday sessions, man, are completely confidential. It's like a no judgment zone, man. We don't give no opinions. You literally just going to sit and talk about, your issue. And then, if you want somebody's help, you can ask for it. And then we're right there to help.
Facts. Are all the people in there, do you know them? Or is there like, some people who have just slowly joined from word of mouth? Or do you know everyone in there?
So right now I know everybody in there for the most part. I'm working on trying to get more people to join that like I don't know or
Yeah.
like that nobody knows. Even though that's a tough part though. I guess that comes with like exposure. But just working on a foundation. So I feel like once I continue to work on the foundation with the people that I know, then it would expand more because once the people that I know realize like yo, and they've already realized that like yo, this is actually really helping me, and they're already doing like they're posting out the Zoom links. I mean, they're posting out the Eventbrites and they're putting that out there. So maybe we'll get one random person joining one day. But for right
Bro,
now, I'm just focused on Will.
have you heard of Clubhouse?
Yo, so it's so crazy. So you're like the third. I believe in everything in threes, man. So you're the third person to kind of mention that to me about Clubhouse, man. So I was actually talking to one of my best friends. He actually helps me like with the Instagram and everything like that, and he mentioned it to me. And then one of my neighbors mentioned it to me as well. So I might have to look into that.
So, bro, after this, I'm gonna text you, bro. I'll text you. It's invite only. So,
Yeah.
I think this will help your brand grow. This is the best app like ever right now. It's audio only.
Okay.
And so like I don't know. Have you heard about it? Did he tell you about it?
Yeah. He had told me like what you're saying now. Like obviously I have seen it on like World Star and stuff like that with like Meek and all of them. I seen it on there, but my man was telling me yesterday like it's invite only and there's different like I guess I don't want to say categories, but like there's different rooms where you talk about like different
Yeah.
things. Like
Oh, the other day we had probably one of the best conversations about Black businesses and Black customer service. And it was like there'd be some deep conversations. Like this is like I think it will really help if you start a room with Black mental health care and the invites, everyone just coming in and out. You can kind of host it. You don't have to be at a computer. You feel me? It's voice only, so you could be in your car, you could be walking. I'm telling you, people, and it's important. People, that why I love this app is because it brings kind of all the celebrities down to our level in a sense.
so, yeah.
Like the first day I signed, I've had it. This is my third day. First day I signed up, I got some good people following me, like some well-known people who, because I do music, so I usually join the chats for like the music and stuff. Like there be A&Rs, music labels listening to music and stuff in there. So you get important people to help you spread your brand. Yesterday we had about a room of 100 people just talking about their businesses and supporting it. It was only for black businesses. Like, and they were just like, what businesses should we support on Christmas? And then everyone went one by one, and just shouted out their business, and it's pretty dope, bro. So I'm gonna send you this invite. I think it will change your life, and it will change the trajectory of Black mental care. So
I appreciate that, bro. Yeah, definitely send me that, man. You sold it there. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
definitely send it to me so I can sign up for that.
I'm gonna text Sam it too, because I think Sam and Josh, Josh.
Probably not. Doesn't sound familiar. Yeah.
How do you know Sam?
Sam was my college roommate.
Oh shit! He mentioned his college roommate. Nice to meet you, bro.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot, man. Yeah, Sam's been doing his thing, man. I'm super proud of him, man. Like
crazy.
I actually watched before we did our interview, I watched his yesterday. You know what I mean, just kind of gauge like, all right, what kind of questions would you ask and things like that. But like everything he was saying, like I literally remember him telling me the exact way he was telling you. It was him telling me the exact way on why he wanted to invest in Ohio and why he wanted to create a Black real estate dialogue. Like I literally remember the exact day he was telling me all this. I'm like, yo, bro, go for it. And it's just so crazy because this is just like what I'm doing and what he's doing. When we were in college, it was completely different. We never talked about things like this like in college, you know what I mean? And I tell them all the time, like for us to be like where we're at now and thinking back like where we're in college, like like the things we talked about in college, like we always talked about sports all day long, like and I talk to Sam like once or twice a week, and when we talk, we don't even talk about sports anymore. Like, it's actually crazy.
That's bro, sometimes I don't even got time for sports anymore. It's just ridiculous how much my life has changed. But you're 100% right. Like my best friend from college, he just got accepted to LA County Fire, and like so he just moved like 2 weeks ago, and like it's just crazy, like the same shit we used to talk about in college, or like be bored, and like we ain't got nothing to do because we were athletes. So it was, gym, schoolwork, nap. Like
exactly.
And our conversations were so different as to the conversations that we're having now are just more about how are you actually doing, as opposed to what are you doing.
Exactly. No, that's a fact too. That's a big fact.
Yeah, man. It's crazy how life changes, man. But
exactly, it's unexpected, man. That's what the joy is, man. Life is so unexpected, man. You're in one place one moment, and then like next couple of days or next day you're in just a whole nother realm or league or something like that. So it's definitely a pleasure to live, man, each and every day.
Facts. Well, shit, man. Like I said, bro, I'ma still stay with it, but I think this is my favorite episode.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah. The number 31, man. We started. We started right as the pandemic hit. So like literally the first week of like lockdown, we started. So we're pretty new too, man. But I love it. I've met some great people on here. I've had some big names on here that I never even would have thought. It's been an amazing time. So I'm gonna keep going. Like you said, it's for me at this moment, it's that of I want to help other people, but as I'm going, I'm realizing that it's helping me. I'm that person that is helping. You feel me? I love this shit. But yeah, this is a therapy session for me.
Hey man, I'm glad to hear that, man. This is dope, man. Like you said, bro, 2020 has been it's been horrible, bro. But like what you said, like with you starting your podcast, bro, and with me starting Black Mental Care, bro, I've done more in 2020. Yes, it's been a horrible year. I'm not taking that away, but I've done more this year for my mental health and just for myself overall than I feel like I've done my whole adult life. You know what I mean? Like it's tough for us to change. We in our mind, we want to continue to say how bad this year is and we want to complain and all that stuff. But literally, if you change your mindset and really understand, this is bad, but how can I turn this negative into a positive? I'm stuck in the house, but what can I do to be productive? Like I don't gotta sit and eat and watch Netflix all day and drink. What can I do to be productive? And I feel like that's what a lot of us did overall, like especially in the Black community, man. You see, you look on YouTube, people making plates, creating clothing, they're doing a whole bunch of stuff. You know what I mean? And it's like this is a bad year. Like but it's easy. You can easily change this around, and it's all a part of your perspective.
Yeah, I've actually seen and heard a lot of Black people, finding themselves and doing really well in their businesses throughout the year.
Mm-hmm.
Although it has been a terrible year, I've seen a lot of Black people say the same thing. Like, this year has been great for me,
Mm-hmm.
mentally, in some cases, not all the time, because it's been exhausting as well. But
Yeah.
and business wise, a lot of people, especially after the Black Lives Matter protest back in March or whatever. But a lot of people have been supporting Black businesses more. So
Yeah.
um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, man, great way to end the episode, man. Go ahead and shout out all the Instagram. You already did, but shout it out again.
Oh yeah. Instagram is Black Mental Care. Also, we have YouTube as well, Black Mental Care on YouTube as well. So I hope you guys subscribe and follow. And I'll post in there as well. I'll post the Eventbrite. So if anybody wants to join us on Saturdays, again 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm gonna mix it up. So we're always gonna do something new to build our mental, spiritual, and physical growth. And I hope to see you guys. Hope you guys follow and subscribe.
Facts. Well, you heard it there. This is the Misguided Podcast, where we intend to guide you to a better future. My name is Juwan, and I'm sitting here with Conley of Black Mental Care. And make sure you follow, man.
All right, catch y'all later. Everybody be safe.
Yeah.